Hey, welcome back to 2 for 1 Tech. Today we're going to be moving on and talking more about branding Employee Center. And today we're specifically going to be working on the footer in Employee Center. So when you're looking at Employee Center here, last time we worked on the top part. At the bottom though, there's a lot of stuff here that we might want to make more customized for our application. So we may want to replace the ServiceNow logo and put in the address, put our own links and stuff. So to do that, we're going to come out to the ServiceNow main page, and we're going to go to Employee Center Footer. And you'll want to make sure that you've got your application scope set to Employee Center for this exercise. So first of all, when we come out here, we'll see 2 for 1 Tech is the portal, but that's what we renamed it to. Yours might just say Employee Center if you didn't rename your portal. And when you click on this, you'll see that it's got demo information in here. The footer is actually called demo. So we don't want to use this one. We're just going to mark it unactive for now. And then we'll create a brand new one. So if I click on new, call it 2 for 1 Tech footer. The other one was called demo. We're going to select our portal. You might have to select Employee Center. I selected 2 for 1 Tech because that's what I named mine. This is where you'll upload a logo, which you might have one from doing your header navigation. All right, and now we can start building our links. But first, let's go look and see what that changed. Yep, that one's active. So let me refresh the page. So now if we scroll down, you'll see there's pretty much nothing in here because it's a fresh one other than our logo that we just uploaded. So now if we want to start adding some more meaningful information, we might want to put our company's address. So I'll just make up an address here. And then you can put your copyright if you want. Let's see, we'll do 2 for 1 Tech. Click update. We'll go back and look again. We should see our address that we just entered. Yep, just down here. And the copyright went down here on the bottom right. Okay, and if we click back in here, now we want to start adding some links to that menu. Before we can do that though, we need to go create some links. So to do that, we're going to go over to the Service Portal menu right here under Menus. And you'll see a few things already here. So this is from our demo menu, but there was ESC bottom links, ESC social icons, marketing. All these ones that you see here with Employee Center had something to do with that bottom part in the demo section that we made deactive. So we want to kind of replicate that. So the bottom links are what is going to show up down here in the bottom left. We make that. And the navigation links are the ones that are going to show up here in the middle. And then there's social icons, which will show up here on the bottom right. So let's start with the bottom links. If we just look at what's currently in this one, you'll see this is where they had terms and conditions and privacy statements. The social icons, though, and you can see that's where they have theirs set to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We could just go ahead and edit this one, or we could duplicate it. Just for time purposes, I'm going to edit this one. That's probably not best practices. I would recommend duplicating it and then filling in your own, and that way this base one is always here for your reference. So, okay, we'll leave this as ESC social icons, and I'm just going to edit these URLs here to make them not the ServiceNow ones. If I click on one of them, I could change this to 2 for 1 Tech. And update, same thing with Facebook. Okay, so you get the idea here, and it's already got the little icons associated with it. So now if I go back to the Employee Center footer and click into my new menu here, I can relate that menu that we just edited, and we want the social icons. So now that that's related, if I look over here and refresh, you'll see that the social icons are here, but that's actually not where I meant to put it. So let me go back. It related it as a navigation links type, but we want to actually make this the social icons. So now if I refresh, you'll see they're down here on the bottom right, which is where I want them to be. Okay, and then if I go back again to the menus, service portal menus, they've got these diversity and inclusion, marketing, social responsibility. These are navigational links. That's what we want to show up in the middle. So we could just go in and edit these, make them our own. We could duplicate them and make them separate. That's what I would recommend doing. But again, for time's sake, I'm just going to go in and edit these a little bit. I'm going to rename this title to My Responsibilities. Click on the global impact. And I'm just going to call this, I'm going to rename this one to Google. Google.com. If you want to put in the target, you could do _blank, and that way it'll open a new menu. And just click update. So I'm just renaming what's currently was in that social responsibilities menu just for time purposes. But again, you can create as many menus as you want here, and then go back and relate them to your footer. So let's go relate those now. We want to look for the My Responsibilities menu here. We want them to be navigation links as opposed to social icons or bottom links, and that way they'll show up in the middle. And if I hit refresh, there they are. So you can see the one I renamed to Google's. We renamed this menu from social responsibilities to My Responsibilities. And I didn't touch these other ones, but you can put as many as you want here. I wouldn't recommend putting too many because it'll make this a little overwhelming. But you can then make other menus. I think you can make up to 4 that go all along here. So again, for time purposes, we're not going to do that. Okay, and then the last thing is the bottom links, which will go down here. So if we go back to the menus, they've got this bottom links one here. We could make our own and relate that one, but I'm just going to edit this one. Okay, and I just made a little change to the existing one here, so we'll now go and relate that to the footer. So it was ESC bottom links was the menu name, since I didn't make a new custom one. And we want this link type to be the bottom links. All right, and so now if we refresh, you can now see the terms and conditions and privacy statement here. And that one, because we updated it, it's pointing to google.com. But again, you can put several here if you want. If you've got certain use cases, you can build a few more into that bottom links. All right, and that about sums it up for today. Hopefully that gives you a quick overview on how to update this footer, make it custom for your portal, and get rid of the out-of-the-box stuff. So we hope that was helpful, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.